Fernando, welcome on stage.
Thank you so much. Good morning and welcome to the panel discussion. Industries have been facing challenges for years. Challenges like, for example, producing at a lower cost and with higher quality. Performance is also a very important topic for industries. But not only that, we are seeing also a new wave of challenges in industry. Like, for example, the climate change, sustainability, or the lack of a skilled workforce. We have also disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence that are reshaping the whole industrial ecosystem. So companies need to be flexible. They need to have an adaptive production. So we have a panel discussion today with our experts. So join me to welcome them on stage to discuss how can we expand automation in order to become more resilient in industry. So welcome Roland Melzer, Senior Vice President of 𝐓𝐨𝐿 and Operations, Factory Automation. Efrossini, Senior Vice President of Control, welcome. And Ronny, Hendrych, Program Manager of Industrial Operations X. Welcome, and please take a seat.
Thank you.
So let's start with this interesting topic. And then the first question for the whole group, for the panel, will be how this concept of expanding automation can help industries to become more resilient for these new challenges.
So, yeah. Let me start, Fernando, and Roland will definitely jump in. So I think the foundation for any industry, whether it is traditional or emerging, is a resilient automation system. This is what we provide with TIA, the totally integrated automation ecosystem. And there are a lot of portfolio elements that play together in this ecosystem. And so this is our foundation. But then if we look into what is happening, we have the challenges that you talked about. But in addition, we can observe in European industries, and in particular also in Germany, that productivity is declining. So we as Siemens are enhancing our portfolio to boost productivity with our customers and efficiency. So this is the focus. And we have a lot of examples that you can see here. For example, our S7 1200 G2, which has a higher performance, is including motion and fail-safe, is super flexible. We also have the new S7 1500 that you can look at here, where we have up to 200% more performance. So we are expanding and supercharging automation, and this is not only on the controller side, but also on the HMI side.
No, I think, as you said, I think it's supercharging is the word. So, and it's all what the whole booth is about. So it's about we take our classical automation to the next level. And one example on the HMI side is what we do within the Unified. So we have this whole system now of one system for everything in HMI and SCADA and even beyond as an IT/OT integration platform. With a lot of updates in performance, with a lot of updates in functionality. We now introduced redundancy, for example. So it's really and we are unique on the market there. So with one system, we can really solve all applications in all industries. And this is what we see as supercharging automation. Yeah?
And talking of sustainability, of course, the topic of energy efficiency is extremely important. I mean, take the Dynamics G220. I mean, this is a great example, but also we have the Ecotech label for many of our products. So we are working a lot in today's ecosystem to drive and push sustainability.
So we are speaking in here of a performance boost across all levels. So we've mentioned PLCs, panels, drives, and of course, for example, an enhanced connectivity with the industrial 5G. So it's like we are having a holistic solution for these, let's put it like this, traditional challenges.
No, and you just mentioned 5G. So it's also a performance boost and acceleration of communication. Yeah. So and we see it in all levels. So 200% on the PLC, the complete system on Unified, performance improvements there. So it's really a big step forwards in more performance, more efficiency. Yeah?
And we can say that's a strong foundation then in automation, but we know that these new challenges require as well adaptability, flexibility in the production lines. So maybe in the direction of Ronny, what are the next steps or the steps that industries are taking in order to advance that automation to become more flexible?
Okay, so you already mentioned some of the challenges customers are facing, right? To boil it down, we have to move from automated to adaptive production. What does it mean? So being adaptive means you are much more flexible what you are doing. You can decide to scale up, scale down your production environment. You are much faster to react to changes to the market. Yeah? So flexibility is one of those core elements we have to prepare. The second one is being much more open. To do that, you need to be much more open and interoperable. So our companies, Siemens inside, but also Siemens outside, they have to come together to provide it for the customers. So we have to be much more interoperable. But this means there's much more complexity to make it happen as we have right now on the shop floor. And we have also much more security concerns because you open up your environment, much more attack vendors. So to get it done, to move to adaptive and later even to autonomous production, you have to bring something new to the table. And this is why we say we enrich what we already have with IT capabilities. That's what we call Industrial Operations X. And we are not doing it because IT is so cool, because we are doing it because IT did it 20 years ago. They started to have the same issues. They wanted to solve more complex environments. They went from monolithic designs to infrastructure as code. And we as Siemens say we want to go to industry as code. And one of those core paradigms, and you can see it in our booth today on the Industrial Operations X area, is software-defined automation. Okay, so we bring central management capabilities and update capabilities for the shop floor to the environment. And also, to scale up and to scale down, you really have to bring you have to unlock your software capabilities from our hardware. Okay, so software, hardware defined, this is where we are going. And there's a good example also today on the booth when it comes to PLCs.
Yeah. So in PLCs, we are expanding our spectrum that we have. You all know our hardware PLCs that start from very basic automation applications that can be used, but up to really super complex high-end applications. This is what we have today with SIMATIC S7 1200, in particular the G2 that we are showing here for the first time, but also the S7 1500 really more addressing high-end applications. This is what we have. This is well-established portfolio, and we're bringing a lot of innovation and efficiency increase with TIA Portal V20. For example, the Copilot that is increasing significantly efficiency in programming the PLCs, and we have very nice examples over there at the automotive booth. So this is what we have today, and we also have a step towards IT with the software controller, where we basically have the PLC as a software running on an IPC of Siemens, and this is the fastest SIMATIC PLC that we have in the market as of today for very, very complex high-end applications. And then moving into this software-defined world, the next step is to say, okay, we decouple from the hardware and we are totally independent. So we provide all the values that you can have today with the SIMATIC PLC, but within a container, within our industrial edge. And this is really a game changer. It's really the first step towards a software-defined, super modular and flexible automation. This is what is happening on the runtime side, but of course it goes hand in hand with HMI and a development within HMIs. Doesn't it, Roland?
Yeah, and I don't like to talk only about HMI because I think what Ronny said is quite important. It's about making productions more adaptive. Yeah? And how can you do it? You can only do it based on data. You can only do it if you come from a fixed, hardwired thing to a data-driven thing. And this data-driven thing is also what we want to establish with our HMI systems, because today we have already a solid foundation. So we have a solid foundation of, I talked already about Windsys Unified, this whole system from small to large, which is also addressing what we currently define as SCADA, supervisory control and data acquisition. It's all about data, also already there, and we want to expand this on top of a SCADA system, having the data not only in a in collecting it, but also giving it a meaning, giving it semantics, giving it a new meaning. So to allow this data-driven production and to allow an adaptive production, finally. And this is why we expanded. We expanded with things on top. We expanded to something what we call an overall integration platform. So the new tech integration platform, it's based on new technologies, it's based on addition of semantic models. We bring together what we have on one side on industrial edge with all these IT coming into shop floor, together with a unified system to an overall system, which is really the platform for IT-OT integration. Yeah? And this is what is currently happening. And what is also happening then on top, AI will change the world. So AI is something which gives you, and you see examples here, really very, very different possibilities. Very different possibilities in engineering. So you can generate your code, you can easily engineer, you have productivities which you never had before. And it's also generating the world on the shop floor. So the world on the shop floor, if you just think about, you have an intelligent assistant which gives you all the information you need at your fingertips when you need it. This is what we are working on with the industrial co-pilot for operations, which is sitting on top of all these data we have, which is sitting on top what we have with a unified system as a SCADA system, what we have with an industrial information hub, now having the whole semantics on top, and then really making something out of it with AI, which navigates our shop floor users to the right problem. So you don't have to find the problem. So you immediately get the issue. Yeah? So because the AI knows it and learned it and has it over time really in the brain. So this is where we go to. This is a bit of a vision, but you see the first steps of the vision here on the booth. Yeah?
So let me try to sum up until here what we have discussed. So we are speaking of the need of having, as we said before, like a strong foundation in automation. Speaking of the 1500 with a higher performance, like the hardware PLCs that we have, and evolving, speaking also of the software-defined automation, what you have mentioned, Ronny, that we are becoming also hardware independent in industry. So that's the way that we can get more flexibility also nowadays. So that was a great example on the PLC part, Efrossini as well, and also what you have mentioned, Roland, of leveraging all these IT technologies, artificial intelligence. We need to optimize our productions continuously. And you have talked of data-driven production. It's like I gotta know what's going on in my production line and then optimize it based on that information, right?
That's important because IT is not only, okay, now we have IT and OT converging. It's really enabling very, very different automation. It's enabling much more efficient automation. It's enabling very different productivity for human-centered automation. So this is really the role of IT, and we have all the ingredients. Yeah, we have our industrial edge system, which brings IT in the shop floor. Yeah. We have all the data collection with the industrial information hub. So we have all the ingredients there to make this adaptive production happening finally.
You see?
And in addition, if you think of time to market, basically with the possibility to deploy updates automatically into the production, you can add functionality just by update. I mean, without any effort, manual effort. So this is really increasing time to market also in the shop floor. This is significant.
Can you elaborate on that? The Efrossini, of course, of the role that the industrial edge, for example, plays in this whole scenario, the importance of also this IT-OT convergence with industry.
Yeah, I mean, of course, industrial edge is the foundation of industrial operations X. So it is really the infrastructure that connects the IT to the OT, and we have a lot of the entire connectivity suite in order to have vertical and horizontal communication. But in addition, the most important asset of industrial edge is actually that it enables you to manage your applications in the shop floor in a super efficient way and have the full flexibility. It's an open ecosystem. You can use your own applications. You can create applications with Mendix. You can you can buy our applications, of course, so a full flexible system. And I think we have really great examples of customers already using Industrial Edge and our Operations X portfolio today.
Thank you. You have mentioned something very important in there, how we can benefit from that open industrial ecosystem. That's something that with Industrial Operations X,
So I think what you mentioned with the Copilot and you with Edge is also a very important topic, because, to be honest, nothing we are doing here right now is new. Okay, nothing is new. It's 20 years old. GPT is 20 years old, and ChatGPT is lying to you. Yeah, this is a problem, and this is why it has to be very easy to bring it into the OT, and this is what we brought in the last years on the table to get those IT paradigms manageable and doable in the OT domain. Yeah, having an edge system which understands, okay, from OT for OT. Having a Copilot who knows it's bad if ChatGPT or Copilot is lying to you in operations, okay? So this is why we put safeguards around it to make it feasible for the OT domain. Yeah,
I think this is important. I think to really have it for the, I wouldn't say OT world, but have it for shop floor, have it for hard environments in production. Yeah, and not in general terms. So and knowing also the things which are there, knowing the data from the machine, knowing all the and you can train it and you can prepare it for the scenario. I think this is important. Yeah.
And Roland, what about the importance of modularity in there as well?
Sure. And I think I yesterday discussed with some customers. They use Industrial Edge. They use the ecosystem approach of it. That you have something which is coming from us, but then you have also something they provide or they do for a specific customers, or it's coming from other vendors, and it's building a larger thing. So it's opening the same dynamics which you have on a. It's always compared to the mobile phone of today. So having more on one thing, creates unleashed possibilities, which we hadn't before. So this ecosystem is really also playing a strong role.
And scaling up easily with this. I think one example that we can put in there, of course, is also, for example, the spray dryer optimizer, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's a good example of combining things.
Yeah, so what is spray drying? Yeah, spray drying is creating dry powder out of liquid or slurry. I like slurry as a word, okay? So why is it important? Milk powder, babies for the world, or I'm addicted to coffee, so I like coffee powder. Yeah, so this is why the spray drying process is everywhere around us. And with our spray dryer solution, we were this year at the World Economic Forum. Why? Yeah, because it's a tedious energy consumption process. Takes a lot of energy, has a lot of waste, and it's very complex to get it done. So you need professionals tweaking all the time to get spray dryer done. What we brought to the table with Edge, with WinSystem Unified, with PA GPROMs, is a process digital twin where you can take the data out of the field, put it to our Shiny algorithms, and then really can optimize that. And we were able, with the spray dryer use case with Indops X products, to increase or reduce the energy consumption by 10%, up to 10%. Why is that cool? I mean, 10% sounds that's not 90, but think about every spray dryer solution around the world. If you reduce 10%, how much sustainability we can rise just with that. Also, we make it much faster now when it comes up to create a new recipe, try it out with this digital twin, and also we can put away a little bit of the complexity on the shop floor in our digital twin, and then also react better and have reduced errors. So that's why I love spray dryer as an Indops X offerings package.
No, and it's only one example of many which you can build out of the. This is modularity. So you have pieces and you can put it together and create something great out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have in there Industrial Edge, WinSystem Unified for Edge in only one example, and that, as you say, there are like many reference examples where we have proof that we are expanding in automation in that direction.
And it's a good new playfield also for, as I said yesterday, a lot of system integrators. They really like it because this is also offering for them new business models, new markets, where they can step into.
And will you agree with me that, of course, this will be also an important foundation also for the future topics? So the vision that we have also in terms of, let's say, autonomous production, autonomous factory, or the use of the industrial metaverse.
Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. All the parts are there. You just need to combine them for your application, for your industry. And we just invite you to run through and look at the application examples and the different elements that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world goes AI.
Okay. Then expanding automation. In here, then we have discussed how industries can have reliable solutions on one side for those, let's say, traditional challenges, but at the same time, having the adaptability in order to face this new wave of challenges, and how can we become resilient nowadays in production. And as you say, all of you, that the production must to go up. So that's a great concept and something we are working on. So thank you so much, Efrossini, Roland, Ronny, for your time, for your presentation, and also thank you everyone here for attending the panel discussion and everyone watching in the live stream.
No.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.